The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Mid-Morning. Central Kentucky picking up the pieces after some pretty tough storms swept through the bluegrass.
The storms didn't spare Lexington either. Downtown blasted by rain that soaked the annual July 4th festival.
And some fireworks were postponed or canceled, but the show did go on in Lexington.
This is WKYT Mid-Morning.
Good morning and welcome into you. It's Tuesday, the 5th of July. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Glad to be along with you today. Pretty
nice day out there right now. I mean, at least it's not that rain that we had yesterday. We did the parade yesterday. You were inside a car,
Well, I was just keeping the driver company. Kellen needed somebody to be there with them.
He did. But it was good. A nice parade, a nice little crowd down there.
It was great to see people, and a lot of people really braved it out. They were prepared for it.
Yeah. So as today goes on, it's a little better. We do have the clouds still out there. Meteorologist Micah Harris, he is on duty. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, and here come the showers outside trying to push on through, and we're going to get those on out of here. Look, it's just bits and pieces here and there. We had some storms earlier this morning, but things are fading away. That's exactly what we wanted to hear. Here comes that drier weather. But I'll still tell you this, we just can't rule out a passing shower or thunderstorm as we head through your day. It's 76 there in London, 77 in Frankfort. It is not a good feel outside. It's not a good look either. But as we head throughout the next few days, you know what? The rain continues to pour on in. I'm going to show you that in your forecast coming up.
All right, thank you.
Now, first this mid-morning, the National Weather Service is heading to Lawrence County today to survey the damage caused by a possible tornado.
Shoppers and workers were sent running for cover as a severe storm moved through Louisa, causing significant damage inside a packed Walmart there. No one in the store was hurt, although there are reports of 5 people being injured in Lawrence County during last night's storm. Outside Walmart, strong winds flipped a car. That was enough to convince people who were in the store's parking lot to run inside for shelter. But once inside, they were shocked by what they saw.
It's demolished the whole inside. It tore some of the roof off.
Outside, street signs and toppled trees littered the parking lot. Thousands of dollars worth of fireworks were also destroyed. An engineer is inspecting the store today to determine when it will be safe to reopen.
People here in Lexington last night felt the strong winds and had to deal with downed trees as well. Some of the worst damage coming on Wolf Run Drive. One of the trees came crashing down onto a home, causing part of the roof to cave in. The man who lives in that house with his wife and their 6-week-old twins says fortunately they're all okay. Hundreds of people scrambled for cover when driving rains and powerful winds pushed through the city. People are clearing up the damage this morning.
My senses were completely overtaken by the wind and the rush of the rain and the wind all at once. And then just as soon as it passed, I turned and my wife was running towards me and crying and because the roof had come down.
There's no word yet on how long it will take to clean up the damage on Wolf Run Drive.
That line of storms damaged several homes and cars in Rockcastle County as well. Emergency management officials tell us most of the damage is in the Brodhead area. One man says strong winds flipped his car and also took out his porch. And he says he watched the storm from his kitchen window.
I screamed for my kids and my family, get to the bathroom, and as it come through the living room, all the posts was going one by one.
Emergency management says at least 7 homes were damaged in Rockcastle County. No injuries were reported. Fortunately, the storms moved away from Lexington in plenty of time for the fireworks display. People gathered in parking lots outside Commonwealth Stadium to watch the big show. The fireworks display was moved from downtown Lexington this year. Fireworks were launched from the UK Arboretum. Lexington city leaders even went as far as testing out that site about a month ago to make sure the fireworks could be seen from as many parts of town as possible.
Visitation for the founder of Southland Christian Church starts today. Friends and family will pay respect to the Reverend Wayne Smith starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon. His visitation will be at Southland Christian Church on Harrodsburg Road in the main sanctuary. It lasts until 9 o'clock tonight. Another visitation for the Reverend Smith will be held tomorrow morning, followed by his funeral at 1 o'clock, both at the same church. And I'm sure there will be so many people coming to see him. What a wonderful man. Yeah. Well, special donors and VIP ticket holders are getting a sneak peek at the new Ark Encounter Park in Grant County this morning.
Well, they will at some point today. The park is scheduled to open to the public on Thursday. A news conference was scheduled to start in just a few minutes. It was supposed to have started at 10. Now they've pushed it back a few minutes. The reason? Traffic issues. That's been some concern going forward toward the opening day. But they're going to hold that ribbon cutting this morning as soon as that news conference gets underway. We'll have more coming up on WKYT News at noon. And once the news conference does begin, we'll be streaming it live on WKYT.com.
Smoke detectors helped a Lexington man safely escape when his house caught fire late last night. It happened around midnight on Tatesbrook Drive off Appian Way. A fire sparked in a bedroom on the second floor. Firefighters say the homeowner was asleep when the smoke detectors woke him up. He was the only person inside and he wasn't injured. Firefighters are still trying to figure out just how that fire started.
Lexington police are looking for a man who they say stabbed someone during an attempted robbery. That happened on Southview Drive near Southland Drive. Police say the victim was driving. He noticed a man on the side of the road next to a car with the flashers on. They say he tried to help the man. Police say the man stabbed the victim in the arm and tried to grab his wallet. The victim then got back into his car and drove off. Police do not have a detailed description of the suspect.
Italian police say they have detained a homeless man in the death of an American student whose body was found in the Tiber River. Police said a 40-year-old man from Rome was taken into custody because he was seriously implicated in the murder. The body of Bo Solomon was pulled from the Tiber River yesterday. The last time the 19-year-old student from Wisconsin had been seen was early Friday morning at a pub, shortly after he arrived in Rome. Solomon had recently completed his first year as a personal finance major at the University of Wisconsin.
Well, presumptive presidential nominees Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are both heading to the Tar Heel state of North Carolina today, and they're hoping to leave last week's distractions behind them.
Hannah Daniels has the latest on Campaign 2016.
For the first time since endorsing Hillary Clinton on June 9th, today President Obama will stump for his once rival in North Carolina.
I don't think there's ever been someone so qualified to hold this office.
It will be their first joint campaign appearance and a welcome distraction for Clinton. Last week, the presumptive Democratic nominee answered questions from federal investigators about her private email server and Bill Clinton's controversial tarmac chat with Attorney General Loretta Lynch, who is overseeing the email investigation. This for a campaign already plagued by trust issues from voters.
I will continue to, be as forthcoming as I can.
Also trying to shift focus is Donald Trump, who is also holding a rally in North Carolina today and has been tweeting about potential VP picks from Senators Tom Cotton and Joni Ernst and Indiana Governor Mike Pence. Over the weekend, the Clinton campaign called Trump anti-Semitic after this tweet of Clinton next to the Star of David.
There was nothing anti-Semitic about our campaign, certainly nothing anti-Semitic about Mr. Trump.
The latest CBS News New York Times Battleground Tracker poll shows Clinton with a slight edge over Trump in North Carolina, but within the margin of error. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Donald Trump is campaigning today in Raleigh with Tennessee Senator Bob Corker, one of the possible choices for vice president.
Back here in the Bluegrass State, a Rockcastle County family got quite a surprise when a bear showed up outside their home. The Smith family says they saw the bear from their windows, so they carefully walked outside and decided they'd take some pictures of it from a safe distance.
I can see it from my kitchen window, and I went to look at it, and I seen that all my trash was everywhere, and I looked up and there was a bear in my woods eating my trash.
The family says the bear stayed around their home for about a half hour before finally edging its way back into the woods. Other people around Mount Vernon say they saw the bear too. And bears have also been sighted in Pulaski, Boyle, as well as Clay and Whitley counties over the last few weeks.
Oh, they are on the move, aren't they?
Are.
Right. Well, keep it here this mid-morning. We've seen people dressed as hot dogs and pizza slices. Why not Mexican food? You can make it happen.
Yeah, we'll have that option for you. And the competitive eaters were at it again, chowing down on dozens of hot dogs with a past champion trying to reclaim his crown.
We still have a little bit of rain out there for today. No severe weather threat, and it looks like we're going to be rolling through the day. Much better conditions. We're going to get into that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We still have a couple light showers outside early this morning, and once we hit the afternoon hours, still looks like a small chance at seeing a couple of rumbles of thunder, but for the most part, it's absolutely nothing like what we saw yesterday. Yesterday was pretty active, so we had that severe weather threat, and today it's more of just a passing light shower like you're seeing there in northern portions of Rockcastle County, heading over toward the Sand Gap community. Now starting to see a little bit of that rain across 421. McKee, you're going to be next in line in about 5 to 10 minutes. And it's just little pieces like that. 77 degrees there in Frankfort, 78 in Lexington. And it doesn't feel good outside. I mean, the humidity is there. The rest of the afternoon, we're talking about temperatures low to mid 80s. Humidity is up, and also looking at that chance of rain at about 30–40%. So some of us, actually most of us, stay dry today. Tomorrow, not so much. You're going to have scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. So yeah, that starts off tomorrow. We'll do it again on Thursday. Thursday, you can see that is that big bulk of rain heads our direction. But watch as we get deep into the afternoon, it tries to push that on out with temperatures upper 80s to lower 90s. It's going to be pretty steamy once we get into the afternoon hours. Remember, you will get breaks here and there on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but those 3 days are still pretty rainy as we continue to look at that 7-day forecast. Drier weekend, though. Small chance on both days. You're talking 20–30%. That's about it. 87 degrees there on Saturday, 85 on Sunday. Check out your 7-day forecast. We're at 40% chance of rain today. Only isolated shot at some rain later on this afternoon. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those are 60% chances of rain. Those are pretty decent chances that we'll actually see some rain. However, remember, it's not an all-day thing. It's not a big mass of rain or a line of storms making their way through. So it's just going to be on and off waves of storms as we head throughout the next 3 to 4 days. And once we hit the weekend, though, guys, there's some good news for us in the 7-day. Saturday and Sunday, both of those days, we're talking about a 30% chance of rain on both Saturday and Sunday. Perfect for all the events, perfect for all the plans that are going on, trying to get out to the lakes, the rivers. Because coming off that 4-day weekend, sometimes when you get back from vacation, you need a vacation to get back from, right? And so here comes this weekend, and the weekend actually looks pretty good. It's not all that bad.
Now that the out-of-towners are gone, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, thank you, Micah.
Well, Independence Day is all about celebrating our American freedoms, including the freedom to dress like our favorite foods.
Behold, take a look, the tortilla towel. You can hit the beach dressed just like a taco, a quesadilla, or a burrito. Keep in mind, though, that you are the filling for whatever that's worth to you. The towel is, of course, already sold out online, but more are likely being cooked up. So.
It's already sold out. Oh, my heavens. Well, I guess be watching for them. Maybe coming to a neighborhood near yours.
People seem to enjoy it. All right.
Well, how many hot dogs can you fit in at Chestnut? Plus, music helps America celebrate its birthday.
And Madonna teams up with one of the first ladies of Africa. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Madonna spent the 4th of July in Africa working with the First Lady of Kenya. The First Lady of American Pop is teaming up with Margaret Kenyatta, who heads a charity initiative called Beyond Zero to promote women's and children's health. Madonna is founder of the Ray of Hope Foundation. Here at home, the U.S. celebrated its 240th birthday with a huge bash last night in Washington. The annual Capitol 4th featured the music of Grammy Award winners Smokey Robinson and Kenny Loggins. And it concluded, as usual, under the rocket's red glare during an explosive fireworks show. And what's more American than a hot dog eating contest? Nathan's Famous held its annual gut-busting event yesterday on New York's Coney Island. The winner was Joey Chestnut, a longtime champion who was dethroned last year by Matt Stoney. Chestnut regained his title, and probably a little heartburn, by eating 70 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A lot of hot dogs, you know.
Oh, yes, imagine.
He reclaimed his crown, though. All right, you can help Lexington children and families who need it most just by lacing up your sneakers.
Details about the Lexus of Lexington 5K next on WKYT. And before we go, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is a whopping $449 million. Tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot is $257 million. We'll be right back.
Welcome back in. It's mid-morning on WKYT, and we're glad you're with us. Lace up your running shoes, maybe your walking shoes. You can help underserved children and families right here in our community. The Lexus of Lexington 5K will be happening on Saturday.
That certainly is a great cause. To learn more about it, we're joined by Blake Carlson, sales manager at Lexus of Lexington. Welcome. Glad to have you in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell us about the event coming up and what it will benefit.
Yeah, the Lexus of Lexington 5K is both a kids fun run and a 5K run walk race for members of the community to participate in. And it raises awareness and brings attention to the Woodhill Community Center. The race is going to consist of a lot, essentially, but in part of it, you're going to get chip timing. There's going to be many gifts that you're given. You're going to get live music, samples from the weekly juicery, which is fantastic. If you haven't had it, I'd encourage you to try it. Overall and age group awards will be given out, swag, and just much more.
And out at Keeneland Racecourse, is that where it is?
That is correct, yes.
Oh, that's such a beautiful place anyway.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about the Woodhill Community Center and the people who will be served by that.
For the last 8 years, the Lexington Leadership Foundation's Urban Impact Ministries, as well as the MAP Foundation, have invested in the lives of underserved children and their families in the Woodhill community there. The Woodhill Community Center is currently being renovated into a place that will help produce Lexington's next generation of leaders. It will be a safe place where at-risk kids can go in that area and learn, grow, and just succeed in their own community.
Yeah, get some good guidance, be around some good mentors. Yeah. If people want to take part in your event that's coming up on Saturday, and it sounds like a big one, and as you said, you don't have to run, you can walk, or you can just come and take part in the event. So what do they do?
Well, first and foremost, the first thing you can do, there's 2 ways that you can register. The first is you can register online at the website that you will see come across your screen there. Or secondly, you can come out to the racetrack. The race starts early, so come out at 8 a.m. is the registration time. So bring your shoes, bring a smile, and you'll leave with both and then some, I promise.
Well, I see you also have a kids fun run that's going on. This is really a family event. You want everybody to come out for it.
It absolutely is. Many of our employees, some have to work on Saturday and can't make it, but many of their families will go out there, and it is just a blast. You can't lose. So bring everybody with you.
All right. Thanks so much for coming by, telling us about it. Hopefully the weather cooperates. It looks pretty good. All right.
I'm no meteorologist, but I'm hoping for the best.
Micah says it looks pretty good.
Great. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Certainly. Well, keep it right here this mid-morning.
Going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next for a different kind of dessert recipe. It's ahead on Mid-Morning. Coming up a little later, WKYT News at noon. We'll have more on the storm damage, the cleanup across parts of Kentucky following last night's storms.
We'll follow up on those high winds as investigators try to determine if a tornado did touch down in Kentucky.
And more of the sneak peek at the new Ark Encounter theme park that's being built and will open up in Williamstown this week.
A news, weather, and sports ahead at noon on WKYT. Well, ice cream is one of our favorite summertime treats, and it's a key ingredient today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
For ice cream pretzel squares, it's the perfect sweet and salty dessert.
7, 8. Did you know that it takes an average of 50 licks to polish off the average size ice cream cone? Well, it does. And if you're thinking, why are you telling me this? It's because July is National Ice Cream Month, which means whether you like your ice cream scooped in bowls or in a cone, smothered with toppings, or you tend to go more for the ice cream novelties, there's no better time than this month to take advantage of all the sales and exciting options that are waiting for us in the freezer aisle, like gelato, Italian ice, and froyo, just to name a few. And to add to the summertime fun, let me share one of my favorites. We start by combining some crushed pretzels and sugar with a bit of melted butter, and that gets baked off. That's going to be our crust. Once that cools, we pile on our favorite flavor of ice cream. After you finish it off with a layer of whipped topping and drizzle on some hot fudge, you're good to go. With so many flavors to choose from, you can change this up all month long. The recipe for our ice cream pretzel squares is online now, just in time for National Ice Cream Month. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where I'm determined to see if I can indulge in a different flavor every day this month. It's a tough job, but ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, what a great challenge to try to get a different flavor. 50 licks, though. Who would count?
I guess he did. He has
Yeah.
time for that there in the kitchen,
does.
you know?
All right, let's talk about the heat that we're going to be experiencing the next few days. 88 there by Thursday and 90 by Friday. So speaking of ice cream, that's probably a good time to knock that out. And you know what? It really doesn't feel that good outside. For today, we're at 84 degrees. The humidity is way up. You will have some isolated activity as we go through the day and toward your afternoon. But remember, this is no washout. Severe weather threat the next 3 to 4 days is minimal. It's very low, but it's not zero. So it's still there. We got to be watching out for that. But most of this is just going to be heavy rain passing on through. That will lead to some flash flooding concerns in the next 3 to 4 days. So there's really stuff to watch for, especially as we head towards your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you are trying to knock out outdoor plans, doing the yard, just getting some of these projects done, getting the kids outside, you'll want to do that today because Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday look like better opportunities of rain. And like I said, some heavy rain too, but the weekend looks much better. Now what we're going to be looking at toward noon is how much rain we're expecting and where I expect the best chances of that. And that's coming up in a minute.
Okay, and we'll have all the latest news at noon, and we thank you for joining us at Mid-Morning.